Tier 14, the penultimate tier for this limited time series featuring Aston Martin Vantage AMR Pro. So here we go, starting with Hunter at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. Are we still going to get a negative distance for target? Sure we do. 90 meters behind Sylvia. Alright, so bots are still pretty slow. And Sprint Circuit, kind of a medium short length circuit, I would call it. Sylvia gets 35-second head start, which translates to how many meters? Let's find out. About a kilometer. All right. This is where we cut across for the sprint circuit. That was not very good cornering. Alright, there you go. 90-meter mark. And this section, of course, the fastest section of Nürburgring, both sprint circuit and Grand Prix circuit. Chicane. And let Sylvia get away a little bit. $50, $60, $70 and change. About 75 meters. All right, that's keeping it nice and close. All right, getting one step closer to our goal of 100 completion of this limited time series. Still got decent number of service bars left. Alright, moving on to elimination at the 24-hour circuit. So gotta survive for minute or 2 minutes and 20 seconds, right? Grid of 8 cars, so gotta survive 7-car elimination and be the last car standing. So here we go. That's first elimination. And I wonder what if I set up shop right here at Tête Rouge and try to block some traffic here, so that way we don't have to cover as much distance to save on our service bars. Although Pungent Sauce seems to have gotten away. What a leakage leakage in our blockage. Try to block him, maybe. We got somebody else chasing after us, so gotta block off 2 opponents, but that would be it, wouldn't it? Only have 2 more cars, 35 seconds to survive, and just 1 more. So we'll just play the usual blockade for pungent sauce. Or let's park ourselves right here in the middle of second chicane of Mulsanne. Alright. Little bit more distance travel than I was hoping to cover, but still should be better than just running out all the way. I think if you run straight up, I think you should be able to you'll get to the Mulsanne corner at the far end of the circuit and then some. But who would want to do that, using up all those service bars, you know? Although it seems like it might end up being a moot point, since the Cup is going to most likely be using up the remaining service bars here. Catalunya National, PR 67 required. 5 laps, yeah, that'll do it. And of course, yeah, PR 67.4 is what we have, so we kind of need those gold upgrades to get through this tier. Okay, here we go. Yep, this one will probably end up in critical condition, so I'm not so sure if there's any point in doing a clean race. Maybe I should try. Little bumping. Well, let's at least try to set like a semi-decent lap. So we'll clear out the traffic. We'll learn the braking point here for the big bend. Alright, so pretty fast track. Of course, I do like this national track here at Catalunya quite much. Alright, so let's try what kind of lap time we can get in lap 2. If I actually tried. Not bad. I could have braked a little bit earlier so I could jump back on the gas a little bit earlier through that first corner, but whoa, going off track. I guess can't quite hold it that well. Alright, so this one, if it were a time trial, obviously this time would not count. So at least we can use it as somewhat of a reference time on what we can possibly get here at Catalunya National. So let's try give it one more go in lap 3, as lap 2 is going to be 56 seconds and change. So brake a little bit earlier this time. And that was very wide swing though. Did I go off track? I don't know. That was pretty close. Okay, that was the combination corner that I missed earlier. So much cleaner lap this time around. And well, we're gonna run into a little bit of a traffic here, as these bots are super slow if I'm already lapping them in lap 3. But still gonna set a better lap time, maybe. No, not much. 56 and change, so it's kind of close. Alright, so well, let's not win by too large of a margin. So we'll wait for the second place, Pungent Sauce. I think all the guys that I've left have passed me by now. So we'll see if we can play like a Pong here with the blockade, waiting for Pungent Sauce to approach me. There we go. Oh, so lonesome all by yourself. There you go. Come join the fun, guys. All right. See if I can give our friend Mint Crystal a nice spin. No. Not quite catching enough of its tail to... There we go, that's a nice spin, or it kind of was. Not sure if I can block 3 rows of these guys. Is the car long enough to block 3? Goodbye. Alright, so here we are, the final lap. Are we any closer to everybody else? I'm not sure. I'm sure closer than it would have been if I didn't block these guys earlier in the previous lap. There we go, nice. Nice 180. Another nice 180, almost. Approach with caution. Alright, I should probably give him one more spin, maybe. Ah, not quite. Alright, we gotta... Oh no! Well, that failed spectacularly. I was a little afraid about that happening. as your car gets damaged, obviously, you don't have quite as good of a pickup, and yeah, suffer the consequences there. Wasn't able to stay ahead. A pungent sauce. But best lap, 56 seconds. Good. Oh gosh, 16 seconds, or yeah, 16 seconds ahead of pungent sauce. This. Well, guess we give it one more go. This time maybe we won't mess around nearly as much, since we're starting with a car in completely critical condition. So take the outside, clean cut around the outer edge of the circuit. Yeah, there's just not enough pickup. It's probably the one department that when the car's in critical condition suffers, that does affect your driving quite significantly. Because the decreased grip, I think, kind of goes down along with your speed, so you don't necessarily feel that as much for most cars, unless it's like super fast car, with the top speed not being as affected. But then again, fast and slippery cars will always be fast and slippery no matter what trend. I guess if it's in critical condition, it might end up being slow and slippery. But if it's grippy car to begin with, it'll always kind of remain grippy, even when you're in critical condition. So this one is kind of middle of the road car, I think. It's not super grippy, but it's not certainly not like Bugatti slippery either, or Ferrari slippery, right? Like the car that is this week's discount offer, the Ferrari 590 GTO. That is actually, if you guys haven't driven that car in the game yet, out of sort of the road car, like Ferrari road car, that is one of the better handling ones. Which is saying something, because it's really not that great at handling. It's difficult to tame. I think that'd be a nice way to put it. But certainly amongst the cars in the same series as 590 GTO, I think that is the best one. Because Enzo drives like, you know, really difficult. And what's the other one in there? Is that the 488 Italia? Is that what's in the same main career series? Anyway, they're all very slippery, so don't let those Formula 1 Ferrari fool you, thinking it's somehow like super great at handling at high speed. It is a very, very different kind of beast altogether. Now the Vantage, the GTEs, we got the 2012 version and the more recent 2017 version, and those two cars are really nothing alike, because the classic 2012 GT is a beast. Super fast, I mean, that car, I would say, is one of the more fun cars to race in the game because of its incredible pickup and super fast top speed. Little lacking on the grip side, but it's not completely out of control. Versus the 2017 GTE is a total control machine. That thing is, you know, that thing grips like fiend. So very different driving dynamic, even though both are more or less same car. So, like, you know, I mean, if you think about like 911 RSRs, they all drive more or less the same, right? So it is kind of refreshing to have the two GTEs, the Vantage GTEs, that drive so different from one another. It's fun. And of course, we cannot leave out Vulcan when we're talking about Aston Martin, right? Wasn't that maybe that wasn't the very first one. You guys remember the, not special event, not limited time series, but remember those series called Gauntlet? I believe Vulcan was the very first one that we had. So that was a fun event. I kind of missed that. I wish they didn't ditch the Gauntlet series, because the whole thing about the Gauntlet is that you get to drive quite a few different kinds of cars. You know, the thing that was annoying about it, of course, was the ticket system, because in order to race, it's sort of like time trial. You know, you had to have you use up a ticket, or did you use 2 tickets? Maybe you used 2 tickets to race in a cup or something like that. But, you know, it added a variety to the game, which is what I'm always about. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath for them to bring that back anytime soon, but maybe they should consider. Anyway, this time we actually won with the best lap time of minute 20. Look at that. None of those 56-second lap this time around. Just goes on to show you. It is true. Slow and steady does win the race. Alright, so since we need to get, you know what? I'll put the car in service since we have some 11 hours to go on that engine upgrade. So without it, of course, we cannot quite complete the final tier, tier 15. So, alright, so that does it for the tier 14 here. So we'll return once that upgrade and service is done. So stay tuned and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.